makes perfect sense that I would have seen him in Cloquet on a motorcycle.
I mean,
and nobody believed me.
he grew up in Roseville, Minnesota, where he attended Alexander Ramsey High School. And he wanted to be a professional hockey player, but he broke both of his arms and went on to be MacGyver.
Can we just safely observe that this is the weirdest Menards commercial in history? Well, here we are.
Oh, man. I get the idea, Lou, that you're trying maybe a little too hard to freshen things up at the beginning of the show.
I think they call it, in the industry, they call it pushing.
Pushing. Oh,
Yeah.
well, it was a little pushy.
One of the...
No jazz hands this time, though. That was good.
Yeah, I didn't want to alarm you again.
We almost lost Mike.
Mm-hmm. And we'd be down to 2. But one of my favorite podcasts is actually Topher Grace's podcast. Yeah, and it started just recently, and it's called Minor Adventures, and he brings on other celebrities, and they just do this interesting skill that they'll try to learn in just the course of the episode.
Okay.
And it just reminded me that
Topher Grace from That 70s Show?
Topher Grace from That 70s Show has an interesting podcast where he's doing that sort of stuff. And in one of the episodes, what he brought in was a voiceover artist.
Okay.
And they tried to do a voiceover work for trailers. And when they were trying to do things like, in a world, he would stop them and he'd say, actually, that's what we call in the industry pushing.
Huh.
So that's where I got that reference from.
There you go. That was a long way to get back to that
we did
destination, but we did it. Here we are.
Here we are. Seems like a good time to introduce everybody to the Menards show.
Hey, save big money with Hot Lou.
So we've had a second lunatic reach out and say they've heard the Hot Lou music on a Menards commercial. So, I think what we're slowly divulging to our listening audience is that this is really just a slow play, long form Menards commercial.
Yep.
So if you're looking to save big money on smaller packages of Jack Link's beef jerky, Jack's Pizza.
No rebates with the Hot Lou show.
No, not right now. But you are listening to the Hot Lou show.
Not Menards, just to be clear. We're not doing
Menards.
that today. Okay.
But now that we mention it, you're probably going to be listening or seeing a lot more Menards commercials.
Because of the aforementioned Baader-Meinhof syndrome.
Which we'll talk about today. Yeah. But after I just introduce myself and say, I am Lou Abramowski, or somewhat savingly referred to as Hot Lou.
And I'm Hot Mike number 3. There's a whole website now dedicated to me and my ilk.
Yeah, we're getting off to a great start to the show, undoubtedly.
As usual.
I think, people are used to it at this point. I hope so. Familiar.
This show is a little bit known for, as we always say, for the banter. We don't always get right to the point, Lou.
Not at all. And in fact, I'm frequently asked what the show is about.
And what do you say?
I was going to ask you that.
I always say, I don't really know, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. We're recording for an audience of 2 people. I think you and me.
It worked out pretty well. And if we get, multiples of that in the downloads, then we're real happy with ourselves.
Yeah, without offending the Menards commercial people and or the estate of Paul Walker.
That's right. Well, I'm going to look at, I think the Menards guy, like the big guy with the glass, I'm pretty sure he's passed on.
I heard that too. Then that's why we haven't seen him in a while.
So it's going to, I guess my point in saying that is it's not going to bother me that much to sue them because I'd feel real bad having to take Menards guy's money. Mm-hmm. But if he's gone, I'm just suing the estate of Menards guy.
Yeah, we don't have much sympathy for them.
I'm out.
At least in their now, I think, dehumanized form, given that we don't know who they are. But maybe they're all fine people as well.
Yeah, he died. The crack research team has confirmed about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, pour one out. Pour 1 2-liter of grape generic soda out for the Menards guy.
That's what it would be.
It
generic
would be.
Grape soda.
Uh-huh.
And some gutters.
Yeah. Well, we keep mentioning the Baader-Meinhof effect, which I think we may want to have the correct research team confirm that we're actually pronouncing that correctly, but it will be in the show notes.
It will be in the show notes. Let's see. What is the Baader? Where can I get a pronunciation?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. The crack research team is on it, Lou.
Yeah, but that does remind me, as we continue to delay the start of the actual show, that there was this hilarious YouTube channel that I will look into whether or not it exists, that would be just pronunciation of difficult words, and it was deliberately mispronouncing all of them.
Oh, that's funny.
It is funny. Yeah. So did the crack research team
Yes, we're back. It is. Well, now, okay. So it's spelled out phonetically Baa-Duhr. So is that Bader or Baader? I'd say ba.
Yeah.
Like a sheep.
Doesn't sound like we got closer to the answer.
No. Well,
Okay.
I'm going with Baader-Meinhof. That's what it is.
Yeah, we got the second half correct, and that's
That's easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got there. But for those of you who are desperately and probably frustratingly waiting for the explanation, the Baader-Meinhof
Baader.
Meinhof phenomenon is this situation where, maybe there's a word that you hear for the very first time in your life. You've never heard it before, and then suddenly it seems like all over the place you're hearing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Facebook jail. We discussed that in a prior episode. I didn't know that was a thing, and then I feel like it was just all over.
Now you're probably...
You were in it.
I was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which explained the ankle bracelet for a little while there. But I think everybody's really experienced this. They didn't really know that there was a word for it. And I see it all the time, kind of strangely, in my Facebook news feed. Maybe that's not strange. Maybe it's deliberate.
Yeah.
And
So it seems a little sinister when it's in your Facebook news feed.
And it's always over like the most benign topics, where I will see just like 4 posts in a row about people talking about cookies. And I will frequently just publish to layer on top of it that the universe is aligned with cookies. And it's amazing. I won't add any sort of explanation, but people just love when I say the universe is aligned with puppies or cookies or whatever. And suddenly I'll just get like 27 likes, and I don't even think people know what I'm talking about.
It's a clever way to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but it does bring me to a little bit of a point about like what we might be able to do with this phenomenon, and it's use that happening in your life to potentially use some sort of
Baader-Meinhof
effect or phenomenon to inspire you to create some sort of additional post, because if that's happening to you, there's almost certainly other people in your network or audience or following or whatever you want to describe it, experiencing the same thing and potentially using that to bring that, whether it's Facebook jail or a word that we use a lot, like apocryphal. Yeah, we use that one a lot. To potentially use that as some sort of inspiration for future content on your Facebook posts or email newsletter or marketing or whatever you're going to do.
Yep. We've talked about this a little bit, but it's also kind of a signal that, it should be a reminder that, as we've discussed in previous episodes, that you're not as into you, or everybody else is not as into you as you are. So just be a little cognizant of that. Just because I see campers everywhere doesn't mean that Lou sees campers everywhere. I see campers.
Yeah. I think, wasn't that the foundation of the movie The Sixth Sense?
I see campers.
Good for Haley Joel Osment, by the way. He's making a little bit of a comeback.
Is he for real?
Well, I think he's been in like 2 or 3 movies in the last couple of years as a very, very different person.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like
unrecognizable.
TV's Al Borland.
A little bit.
Wow.
A little bit. Maybe
he's
he'll
a
be
heavy set fellow with a beard.
Yeah. I mean, there could be an opportunity for a Home Improvement reboot.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Who would be Tim the Toolman Taylor, though? Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Hot Mike
number 4. Yep. There it is. Haley Joel Osment, celebrity listener. Welcome to the show.
So welcome. And you know what? I have to get this off my chest because I've been saying it for years. We're in the midst of like reboot culture.
Uh-huh.
Right?
We really are.
Hollywood is out just remaking movie after movie after movie, and you might have seen even Carrie Elwes is totally against the Princess Bride remake that's been rumored for a little while.
Oh, that would be horrible.
It would be horrible. And he has a great line that we'll include in the show notes about that. But the remake we all want, I think, in the world is Quantum Leap.
Oh, my God, would that be an amazing show in 2019?
Think about that.
Oh,
right?
I just want to slap my cell phone
Ziggy.
and Ziggy. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is Scott Bakula is one of these celebrities that hasn't aged like 1 minute.
No, he looks like Scott Bakula.
He looks like Scott Bakula. I don't know about the other guy.
Oh, well, he might be. He,
all
and,
right,
he and
the
the
crack
Menards guy might be hanging on together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the crack research team is on top of that too, and I don't know how this exactly relates to the Baader-Meinhof effect.
This might be one of those shows, Lou, that really isn't about anything.
Yeah. Eat your heart out, Seinfeld.
Ah.
Yeah. What did we find? What did the crack research team find out about?
We found out that the gentleman's name is Dean Underwood. Is that right?
You know, I knew that. I don't know why I knew that, but for some reason it reminded me.
Oh no, Dean Stockwell. Where did I get Underwood?
But the Dean, what jumped out at me, the Dean is because Richard Dean Anderson was, help me out here, the guy who took all of he would invent stuff out of just like duct tape.
Oh, MacGyver.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Wow. That's disappointing that I didn't remember that. But I saw Richard Dean Anderson in Cloquet one time.
He's from Minnesota.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Is he from Cloquet?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Boy, the crack research team is getting a workout today.
Yeah. Wow. The computer is over there smoking.
Dean Stockwell is still with us. He was born in 1936, which would put him at, what's that, about 82, 83 years old?
Yeah. Good for him.
Whether or not he could do, I don't know. Well, let's see. Richard Dean Anderson where'd it go? He was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
There you go.
January 23, 1950. And he attended St. Cloud State University, also here in Minnesota.
Makes perfect sense that I would have seen him in Cloquet on a motorcycle.
I mean...
And nobody believed me.
He grew up in Roseville, Minnesota, where he attended Alexander Ramsey High School. And he wanted to be a professional hockey player, but he broke both of his arms and went on to be MacGyver.
Can we just safely observe that this is the weirdest Menards commercial in history?
How many celebrity listeners did we add today?
I don't know.
The Estate of Menards guy, Richard Dean Anderson, and Haley Joel Osment.
And don't forget Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell.
Yeah.
My goodness, the floodgates have opened with hot, loose celebrity endorsers.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep tabs on our web hosting traffic bill.
Whew.
I mean,
to say nothing of Jim Baader-Meinhof.
Yeah. Mr. Jim Baader. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely one of those shows that is 100% about nothing other than the revelation that we are just a Menards commercial.
There it is. Now I'm interested. I can't wait to read the show notes and learn about the Carrie Elwes comment, because there's no way they should remake The Princess Bride. I draw a line at that.
Well, I might as well dive into his comment, but I'm just going to butcher it because his comment was...
I'm reading it.
Okay, the crack research team will share.
It says, there's a shortage of perfect movies in the world. It would be a pity to damage this one.
Which
is basically a direct quote from his character in the movie.
Yeah, with one word replaced.
One word, an important word.
Mm-hmm. It was an important word. So I have a feeling that, and we hope to hear from you in the show notes. We hope to hear from you in the comment section of the show notes, in the reviews, because I don't think we've asked for reviews in maybe an episode or two.
Yeah, you should review the show. And if you're inclined to review it at anything less than 5 out of a potential 5 stars, you really should just look in the mirror and think about the choices that brought you to today.
Yeah, if you are making choices at all. But
back in the simulation, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. You could be just a product of whatever. And it might be worth noting too that this kind of rudderless show is brought to us by kind of an amazing sponsor.
Oh man, have you checked out, Lou? I know you have. The new page.
Yeah, I barely make it into the studio to record the show.
I don't know how I'm going to be productive at work at all anymore now that I have unlimited access to hot mics.
Yeah, So,
I
so
should
with
say
that,
other hot mics.
with that tease, let's roll the commercial.
Hey, lunatics, it's me here, Hot Mike 3. Lou gave me that nickname because, well, I'm a hot guy named Mike, and there's 3 hot mics in this studio. But Lou, some people feel like they don't get nearly enough hot mic in their life.
Because there aren't just 3. There's so many mics in the world.
Oh, yeah, there's Michael Jordan and Michael Keaton
Mike Nugent.
and Mike Peterson.
My goodness, this is genius.
Get on over to hotlou.com/hot mic and check out what we've prepared for you.
And we're back. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to express my gratitude.
I'm real glad you saved that till the end of the episode, Lou, because nobody came back. They're all engrossed in the hot mic page.
Right. And I mean, this is clearly our best episode
Oh, yeah.
that we've recorded so
100%.
far.
The 7 seconds of silence will be one day replaced with 6 seconds of silence and 1 second from this show.
Once we reach episode XL or whatever we
XL,
intend. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to our amazing sponsor, Hot Mics Daily. And thanks also to my co-host for continuing to crack that whip on that crack research team. I imagine that's why they're called a crack research team, right?
Yeah, you don't want to know what goes on in there.
Okay. All right.
You don't want to know.
All right. Plausible deniability for the named host of the Hot Lou Show. I am your host, Hot Lou.
And I am one of the original hot mics.
We'll talk to you next Lou's Day.